Good morning and welcome to the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast. It is April 6th, 2024. This is episode 129. This is a podcast by a dreamer for dreamers. Stand-up comedian and actor Paul Green coming at you, documenting my journey as a comedian, trying to navigate how to become successful, how to have big dreams, and see those come to fruition. So this week has been a very interesting one. It's presented some really cool experiences, but also some really just challenging mental stuff. You've gone mental. Sorry, random Wayne's World quote there. You've gone mental, Garth. I'm out of here. We'll go then. Well, I am. We'll go then. Well, I am. Anyway, so if you've been following me, you know that I was in Vegas most of this week. Spent a lot of time with a really close comedian friend of mine who's incredibly talented. And I came to this conclusion that I want to try to pretty much start over. As a comedian, meaning really start over, rewriting my act, figuring out who I want to be on stage, my persona. And part of that was like really exciting, and part of it's also like really discouraging as I start to try to wrap my head around what that looks like, what that means. I had a show Thursday night that I tried some new material. It was a rough crowd already, and then I tried some new material, and it didn't go well, and I got very discouraged. Last night, I had two shows at the same club. The audiences were way better. They were really awesome. So I did two shows. In the first show, I just tried one new bit. I opened up with this new bit, and it was this joke that I'm like, I think that this actually is, I'm on the right track here with something. It's the same sort of idea I tried Thursday and it didn't go well, but I was also weighing my head. It was a rough crowd. I tried to kind of navigate it on stage to just see if I could figure out how the bit plays out. Sometimes that'll happen. You just have an idea and then or a premise and you just throw it out, and then the jokes just kind of start coming. It's, some comics say they write on stage. That'll happen sometimes for me. Other times it won't, and I'll hope it's going to happen and it doesn't, and then I kind of get stuck, and then I just have to pull the ripcord and then jump back onto some known material. So Thursday didn't go well. The first show Friday, I tried one bit, one joke, and it went okay. I think it went well enough that I can play around with it. It's the type of joke where it's kind of a plug and play joke, which means there's like a lot of elements to it, and like nuanced elements, where I could, oh, well, what if I say this word instead of that word? What if I plug and play this word into this word? What if I swap these two words around? What if I, there's like 15 different potential punchlines that could all theoretically work. And so it's a matter of just really finding which one works the best. And the first one that I tried was okay. Didn't kill, so again, I can look at that and go, all right, I'm on the right track with it, but I can try a few more attempts at this and see if I can get better. But I just tried the one joke, and then I had my keyboard on stage, and so what I did at that point is I just started talking to the audience, and then improvised a song about an audience member. There's actually, in the earlier show, a woman who was having her 75th birthday in the front row. So I just talked to her. She was so funny. We had a really fun interaction. And then I got to sing a song about her and about her life and about her interview. So that's always fun when I can do that and give, audience members a bit of a special birthday treat, which I doubt they get that anywhere else. If you're watching this, Jim, they don't do that shit at Applebee's. So anyway, that was fun. And then in the second show, I didn't even try to do any new material. I just did my sort of typical opening bit that I've been doing for about a year now. And then I just did the same thing. I just interviewed a couple audience members, sang a song about them. And I was in a similar spot about 2 years ago where I was really struggling to do material on stage. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that just 2 years ago, my whole life flipped upside down. At the beginning of 2022, I was living in LA and pursuing my dreams. And next thing I know, I'm in this relationship that was moving very fast in Arizona. And all of a sudden I'm moving in with her and I'm engaged and she had children. And, so it's like I'm a stepdad all of a sudden. And I remember, I wasn't doing a ton of stand-up, but I had a couple stand-up gigs pop up throughout that time. And I really struggled. Because so much of my stand-up was about me being a single guy. And so just my whole life circumstances had changed. And then the relationship was really, really bad. I was in a very bad situation and I was incredibly anxious. I wasn't sleeping. I was in one of the worst, mental health, physical health, spiritual health periods literally of my entire life. And so even trying to think about writing comedy, I couldn't even wrap my head around it. And there's a whole lot more about that, which I don't even really want to get into. But it just made it so hard for me to do my material, like my old material, because it wasn't relevant anymore. I couldn't sell it anymore. And then I didn't feel any ambition or comfort level or motivation to write new material because I was just in such a bad situation emotionally. And so I did a couple shows once, kind of in the middle of that, where I tried to do some material and my old material that had always worked, and it didn't go well. I almost bombed. And so I just pulled the ripcord on that and just said, I am going to riff with audience members and improvise songs about them. And so I did that for about 3 or 4 months. I even headlined a couple times, meaning I'm doing an hour and I didn't do any jokes. I didn't do any material. I just walked on stage, talked to the audience, riffed with them, and then improvised songs and went home. I just had no capacity to do material at that point in time. And by the way, the period of time that I am now is not anywhere close to as bad. But what's similar is this idea of not really knowing what I want to do with the material side of things, and trying to navigate how to, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what direction to go comedically and artistically. And I don't want to overthink it. I want it to feel natural and I want it to feel organic. It doesn't right now because I'm I don't know. I'm a little discouraged and I'm probably overthinking it and taking it too serious, which I've done plenty of podcasts about trying to gamify stuff and trusting my instinct and all that stuff, which is why I do a podcast, because those who can't do tell other people what to do. That's why life coaching exists. So listen, everybody, sign up for my 20-course online comedy course here. For $1,500, I will teach you how to do what I'm not doing right now, which is rushing into comedy. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So, anyway, so Thursday night, I was really discouraged. I was really down. And so I just determined last night, I'm like, just bring the keyboard out, riff with the audience. That's actually my safe space. That's my safe space. That's my comfort zone, is riffing and, riffing with the audience and then singing a song about them. People always love it. It's something very unique. It's a skill set that I have, and it's something that I can just fall back on when I am not feeling grounded in my stand-up, and hopefully this will give me some time to really start to dive into the notebook and start to see what sort of material, what sort of persona, what feels right, what feels funny to me, what feels organic, what feels authentic. Try to get out of my head a bit and go from there. So, I've got 2 more shows tonight. I will improvise those, similar to what I did last night. I may try a joke or two, but I think for the most part, I will riff and improvise. I've got an open mic tomorrow. So my goal is to get a couple hours of writing in today, of just really focused, disconnect from everything writing, which is so hard to do because there is just a million distractions. It's like, I need to leave my house. I can't do it in my house. There's too many distractions. I need to go somewhere. I need to put in my earpods, my noise-canceling earpods, put on some sort of meditation thing on YouTube, turn my phone over, and just keep my phone turned over, pull out the notebook, and just write. And it seems like it should be the simplest thing, but it seems to be the most... It's the easiest thing not to do. There are just a million other little distractions that always get in the way. And so that is my intention, is to get in the notebook again today. I'm just letting go of the pressure to try to do new material. If I really feel like throwing out a new joke, I will. You know, the crowds are hot enough, and the other comedians surrounding me are always so amazing that, you know, I can have a swing and a miss and still kind of go, oh, that didn't work. Do some sort of blah, 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 draw attention to it, and then just go on to something else. I mean, I don't want that to happen, but that is what I will look at doing tonight. And what's also fun is I filmed the shows last night, and it's fun to get those interactions on video. So maybe also, hopefully, I can get maybe some online stuff happening, because anybody in the comedy biz knows that you gotta have those socials, man. Gotta have those socials. My buddy Josh Noby, who I'm doing the other podcast with, he told me that because he's actually he's gotten a couple big movies coming out, or maybe big TV shows that are like really major, and so he has a couple of the big talent agencies looking at him, which is incredible. And he said that one of the talent agencies just said, "Yeah, you're really fun. We like you. You just got to get your social medias up. Once you have like 1 million TikTok followers, then give us a call." I'm just like, wow. But that's the world we live in, man. It has just changed. I mean, even from 20 years ago, where if you wanted to make it in the entertainment industry, you moved to New York, you moved to LA, and you hustled and hustled and hustled, and then hoped that a manager or an agent saw your set at a club and was so blown away by your talent that they feel they could make money off of you. So they would approach you and then sign you and start sending you out on auditions or trying to get you booked, for comedy stuff. And now it just seems you just put yourself online, you get your social media up, and then from there, maybe somebody will see you from social media and then maybe try to give you some opportunities. So anyway, I guess the plus side of me doing the crowd interactions is the internet seems to like crowd interactions. I've had a couple of my crowd interactions do very well online. So, we'll see how that goes. So, oh man. It's weird. It's weird. It's just weird having a big dream. It's a lot. That's why I'm doing this podcast, just because being in it and just trying to navigate this journey is just really something else. And so this is my ode and my me paying homage to all the dreamers out there who have to try to figure life out and figure out your path and surge forward when there's no clear path ahead of you, and deal with just the constant rejection and discouragement. I saw this little video clip of Lyndsey Stirling talking to Howie Mandel, and it was sort of like a look at me now type feel. Like, I don't know why they were talking, if it was part of like maybe maybe he has a podcast or something like that. But they were watching her old America's Got Talent audition from however long ago that was. Gosh, it's probably 10 or 15 years now. It was quite a while, quite a while ago. And, Pierce, I think it was Pierce Morgan, just ripped on her. Just said, your violin playing sounds like cats dying or something like that. And, he X'd her out. So, she didn't advance. And here's young, Lyndsey Stirling, trying to do something new, trying to do this sort of pop violin playing, combining it with pop dancing, and nobody had really done that before. And she's trying to grow her following, trying to grow her YouTube, and gets on America's Got Talent, which even that is, remarkable, and then goes on there in front of all of America and gets pretty harshly treated, and doesn't advance, and then has to go home and go, well, do I quit? And she didn't. She kept going and kept going and kept going, and then had this, if I remember right, I think it was one of those things where she had tons of content. She'd been doing this for so long, but then she had like this one video that for whatever reason just took off. And then from there, that was the door to where all of the opportunities started opening up, to where now she is, she's touring the world, selling out massive, venues and arenas, and producing music, and, producing her YouTube videos. I was actually in a Lyndsey Stirling music video myself. Go to YouTube and look up Lyndsey Stirling, Man in the Arena. It's kind of like a post-apocalyptic kind of madman type feel. And if you pause at just the right times, you'll see me they had kind of these bleachers, kind of these rough-looking audience guys. And so I'm kind of like an audience guy, And so I was in a Lyndsey Stirling music video. But it was just cool hearing her talk about her having to just figure out everything as she went. But she was relentless. She went on America's Got Talent. It didn't go well. She was ridiculed. She had to go home and just keep going. And I really think that's really all there is. It's like if you have a dream, you're just always pursuing it and just keep going and figure it out. Figure it out as you go and take the discouragements as they come and just keep going. All right, everybody. I'm going to leave it there for April 6th, 2024, episode 129. Did I say 128? I think it's 129 of the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast. I love you all so much. Keep dreaming, keep moving forward, and I will talk to you tomorrow.